Hello and happy Saturday. It's been raining all morning, so I won't be doing any tractor work today because that whole area is just mud and I don't want to deal with that drama, but I have something else I'm working on which will hopefully address this disaster here. I have to get rid of a lot of that wood, but there are some good pieces in there, and I already have some things in mind I want to build, such as my compost tumblers. I know my hair's crazy. It's out of control. So anyway, what I'm going to do is, I got two of these things. They're pretty much ceiling, you mount them to your ceiling for storage. So I'm going to put them up here above this garage door. They go 42 inches from the ceiling, so I'm hoping it'll be like right about there. It'll come out. It's a 4x8 shelf. I have two of them, one for here, one for there. I think I'm gonna put them like a foot off this wall and then probably leave a foot in between the two, and yeah, hopefully it'll all work out. I think it will. It's probably gonna take me a while. It's just me working on this, and you know, I gotta move slow. So, well, I gotta be meticulous. I can't just whip the thing up there. So, luckily, today's project is brought to you courtesy of my neighbor who loaned me this 8-foot ladder so I can get up there. So, thanks, neighbor. But if I didn't have this ladder, I was going to put my 6-footer on the Kubota pallets and lift myself up that way, which probably would have been more entertaining, but certainly would have made the job harder. So, I'm going to get into this, and we'll see how we do. I ordered white. Thanks, Home Depot. Well, I'm not sending them back. I mean, they're 100 pounds each, and they're here now, and I'm into this project, so I definitely ordered white. I triple checked and I looked at the receipt. I just wanted things to match. First world problems. Okay, well, let's get into it. I zoomed in on the email right here. New age products, blah blah blah, storage in white. White picture, white. Thanks, Home Depot. Okay, I think I've got a good start on what I think is probably the most challenging part. And that's just getting the initial brackets in the wall spaced properly. So my joists are 24 on center. So I started off the wall there. And then luckily I can actually do a shoddy paint job. I can actually see all the joists here, so I just counted 5 over. And then once I was up there, I could see where they had spackled over the nails or screws, whatever they hung the drywall with. So that made it pretty easy to do that part, even though I have a stud finder, but it's, I don't know, maybe it needs a new battery, but they're always like hit or miss. Sometimes they work, sometimes they are totally off. So luckily this has worked out so far. So now I'm gonna move on to the next step. Okay, we are inching ever closer. I have the vertical brackets up, and now I'm going to work on the frame. Well, I found the first thing I screwed up. I hung every single one of these the wrong way. It's a keyhole slot, so as you push the nub through and it locks in. So I gotta switch them all back. Well, switch them all to the right way. Okay, well, I got the thing assembled. I still have to tighten it in a few places. I think I took about 2.5 hours, maybe just between 2 and 2.5. But yeah, once I go around and tighten everything down, that'll probably be about 2.5. I kind of guessed at the height. I didn't use the full 42. I'm probably leaving, I don't know, even like 2 inches on the table, but that's fine. Because I want to be able to make sure I can unimpededly get this on and off this ladder. So my 6-foot ladder, if I stand on the top rung, these are 12-foot 6 ceilings. If I stand on the top rung, which you're not supposed to do, I can like put my hands right on the, well, I'll just show you, I can get up to it. I mean, you know, since I'm holding on to it, the general principle I've been operating under while doing this. So, I mean, this is at like chest height for me. But anyway, the general principle while hanging this is 3 points of contact when I'm on the ladder and drilling into the ceiling. I try to hold on to something the whole time. So, yeah, I think we're good here. I'm going to get the level and let's get down from here so I don't eat it. I'm going to get the level and tighten up the verticals here. And then I'm going to get started on the next one. But I think this went pretty well. I've got enough space over here. I only injured myself once, and it was literally the last step. Well, the little grates here got stuck, and I was trying to shift them, and they shifted quicker than I could react. Anyway, I'm going to get going on the next one, and I'll let you know how I do. Alright, well, I got everything tightened down, so I think the only thing left to do is test it. Alright, well, I'm 160 pounds, so it says it can hold 600. We'll see. Alright, there it is. Got them both hung up. Everything's tightened down. You know, I won't do more push-ups or pull-ups on camera because I already did like 100 from up there, so, you know. But no, I think it turned out great, other than it not being white. I think I think it'll do just fine for what I need. Yeah, nice little overlap. I have a space in the middle, 24 inches actually, because that's the spacing of the joists. So I can put a ladder, probably lean a ladder up there if I need to scamper up and get stuff, or lean a ladder on the edges to get to things if I don't want to use the 6-footer. So, whew, so hopefully now I'll have, this just looks like a disaster every time I look at it. Like there was a flood in the house and I had to like tear out drywall and garbage. But that was not the case. That is just my embarrassing hoarder pile. Alright, well, kind of stopped raining, but I think as far as today goes, we have some guests over, so I'm going to go be social and enjoy my Saturday. Hope you're having a good one. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you on the next one. Hello. New day, new project. Good news is, these things haven't fallen down overnight, so you know, that probably means they're there forever. Today's project is going to be replacing these 3 fluorescent 8-foot lights with, I don't know, a couple LEDs. What have I got here? 6 LEDs over there. So, what that will mean is I have to take the lights down, convert whatever the power box is there to a plug, because those things are plug-ins, not hard wires. So yeah, I don't really know what to expect here, but I'm hoping I can get it done in a reasonable amount of time. You can kind of hear, these things are a little dim, but they also buzz. So hopefully by converting them to LEDs, well, I'll definitely get rid of the buzz, but it'll be brighter, a little less yellow, a little more white, and life will be grand. So, okay, I'm gonna get this thing going. Alright, I have one full set down and the new one's up. I kind of had to jury-rig this box a little bit. I was hoping there'd be a proper electrical box up there, but it was literally just 2 wires dumped through the ceiling. So I got a box, I mounted it to the joist, and I ran the wires in each side. It's probably not to code. I did have rubber grommets there, but I got one size too small, so I don't know, there's no movement up there. I don't think rubbing will be an issue. But anyway, here's what they look like turned on. You can still hear the old ones buzzing. Here's the, this thing was way heavier than I thought. I'm gonna have to get, luckily I had a family member here to help me take down this first one. I was like stuck up on the ladder trying, like holding it, and I had to holler for someone to come. Anyway, it was a bit chaotic, but These ones are already super bright. I think it's going to be pretty sweet. It's daylight now, so obviously you can't really tell, you know, really the difference, but that probably took about an hour. That's about what I anticipated, an hour each. So, alright, well, 2 more hours of work, and it should be good to go. Yeah, it's a little, it doesn't look pretty, but I'm confident that it won't burn down while I live here. Just kidding, it won't burn down. Okay, more progress. We now have 2 complete rows of lights. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm done. Check it out. Yeah, I think it went just fine. I gotta put a little patch up there. The previous people, whoever installed that light, missed the joist by about 6 inches and it tore out of the ceiling, and they had like 6 drywall screws holding the light up. It was about as hillbilly as I would have done it had I screwed it up. So I just have a little patch panel here I'm going to throw up there. But otherwise, I think this turned out really good. I'll shut the lights off and turn them back on here so you can do a before and after. That light is on over there already. Wow. That is bright. Cool. Well, I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup and just tighten a few things, and I should be good. And then I can start taking all that wood, well, some of it, and putting it up there. Hi, me again. I almost forgot to showcase the best part because I had the fan on earlier, but listen to this, or don't listen. Perfectly silent. Oh, lovely. I tackled one other job while I was out here. Whew. And it was hanging the bikes. I've never, I've never had a garage tall enough to be able to do that. But this is cool. These are like 8 feet up. I got plenty of space under here. It's probably impossible to tell exactly, but yeah, now I got even more floor space, and they're really easy to use. It doesn't take much to get it all sorted out. But I am going to put a little whatever those things are called that you can tie ropes around, a cleat maybe. So yeah, I'm happy with the way that turned out. Happy with the way the whole garage turned out this weekend. It was a lot of work. I probably put in 5 hours yesterday and, I don't know, 5 or 6 today. But we are all lit up. Everything is looking good. Both sides have the same lights now, so we have the same coloring and everything. It doesn't look as yellowy and dingy. Man, those things were heavy. I was not anticipating that. To get this one down, I did this one by myself. I took one of these straps here, and I wrapped it onto the L bracket there, and then across here, and I used it to hold that side while I unbolted that one, and then I lowered this down and kind of walked it down, and it worked out okay. Not bad for a one-man job. Alright, that's it for sure. That's the end of my weekend. I'll see you on the next one. Hope your projects are going well. Otherwise, just, enjoy the projects I do, and you can feel like you did them too. Alright, I'll see you later. Okay, back to this awful familiar pile of disasterness. So this is what I'm working with currently, and I'm just gonna start loading what I can up here. Each one of these is rated for 600 pounds, so I don't know, there might be about 1,000 pounds worth of stuff here. I'm certainly not going to put it all up there, I'm just going to have to part with some of it, as important and, helpful as I'm sure old shelves of particle board might be. It's time to say goodbye. Alright, I'm going to get to it, and hopefully I'll have something to show when I check in next. You know, it's like the third time you've gotten stuck in here, pal. Birds these days. Look at me! I'm sitting up on my rack full of wood. I don't know if this is safe or not. It's probably close. No, I don't know. I mean, I have it spread out over the two here, kind of bridging the gap. If you attach both of these and bolt them together and use one joist for both hangers, you can only put 400 on each side. But if each unit has its own set of joists, as these do, because there's a full space in the middle, they take 600 each. So in theory, I have like 1200 spread out between all of this, and once I lay it all out and kind of sorted through it, it's not nearly as much as I thought. I mean, it's 2 layers so far. Pretty much 1 by is on the bottom, 2 bys are here on top. Here's a 4 by, and then I don't know, I got a few small things I need to disassemble here. That stuff is going to stay down there because I think I figured out how to use it. I collected wood that I'll need for, I have like these perfect pieces. Shouldn't require too many cuts to make my compost tumbler there. And then I just am going to put the plywood on top, so this is going well. Maybe I should have made this into a fort instead. Alright, I need to get down from here. It's getting hot and it's making me nervous. Well, I turned the lights off to try and encourage him to go out towards the light. In the meantime, oh, I got most of this cleared out. Look. Ah, so great. So much more space. These bigger pieces of wood, there's just like 2 of them there. That's an old headboard. That's just like solid oak, maybe? I don't know. I'm just going to put those up there. That's fine. They're big and bulky. And those are like super heavy engineered beams, so I'm just going to put them wherever. These I think are going to become shelves along here in the middle. I think I can figure out a way to fasten them to the wall. They have these big metal brackets already attached to them. What else? That's probably trash. That's probably trash. And then these are just 4x4s that I'm going to leave by the garage door, since that's generally where I need things like that to chalk tires and hold buckets and whatnot. I'm going to keep this pallet. I might eventually put wheels on it, because that's actually what the subsoiler came on. This guy over here, this big piece of heavy metal, right now I've got it on its own dolly so I can move it around, but I think I could make something kind of clever with that pallet and some wheels and stuff. But for now, I'm going to take this random piece of wood and all this and turn it into my compost tumbler. So I think I'm just going to do that and show you the finished product. So here we go. I think my favorite part of the garage build here has been this plug on the corner. I can cut all my wood and then just use the leaf blower and blow all the sawdust away. Nothing to clean up. Love it. Voila, we have a basic stand. So the premise behind this is pretty simple. It's just a frame. So this frame is, you know, here's just a little story behind my wood hoarding activities. This came from my last house. We moved it here. I think it came from a closet I tore out in the garage. It was the frame of like a closet that the previous owners had built in a 2-car garage. It wasn't enough room, so I tore it out. And somehow it's traveled with me all this way. And same with these 4x4s. Those came with me from the last house as well that were there when I moved in. So storied history on all this wood. So anyway, I made a basic frame, 2 feet off the ground. I realize it's not currently level, but the legs were the everything else was level. The frame is actually tweaked a little, but it doesn't matter. It's going on a grassy area, so I can modify it later. I also have this base plate here that I might use to level it as well. So I pretty much just made the frame, put 4 wheels on it, and let me show you how it works. Barrel goes on top, centered, barrel spins. So I still have to modify the barrel. I have to cut a square out of it, and then I have some hinges here. I think these will work. I'll somehow attach them and, you know, do all that so that the little door can be opened. I don't know. I haven't gotten all the way there yet. This was just the first start. And then I'm going to paint these as well. I'm going to paint them green so they're not hideous monstrosities. Okay, so that's the premise of it. I only got enough caster wheels for this side just because I didn't know what I was doing. I just had a general idea, so I have to go get more of those. And I'm going to put them here. Oh, and one feature of that, so there's going to be a space in the middle. I don't really care about that, but I wanted to put this, excuse me, I wanted to put this right on the edge so that where the door opens, I can put a wheelbarrow next to this and kind of dump it into the wheelbarrow, or at least like scoop it out instead of having to dig in and out. And as far as the height of it, well, I'll tell you what, I'll just take it out there now and we'll show you where it's going. My wife's out there picking things from the garden. Maybe we'll check on her in a little bit. For now, I've placed the barrels where I think they're going to go. So this is our back porch. If you remember from previous episodes, that's the tree I transplanted from in front of the garage when we were doing the garage project, and it's still doing well. So eventually I think this bed, pretty much from the rocks over to about here, I'm going to fill with wood chips and turn it into a more landscaped area so I don't have to mow all this. But in the meantime, this is where our compost tumblers are going to go. So that was kind of the reason for the height, and I happen to have wood that just did some simple maths and figured out I could make like 3 cuts and, well, probably 4 cuts and have all the pieces I need. And it's at a good height. It's only like 6 inches above the porch here, so it doesn't impede a view, but it'll be accessible because our kitchen is right in there. So I mean, the whole point is to use the thing, so if it's far away from the house, we won't use it. So it's right off the porch. I don't know what these things smell like. If they smell horrible, then that's life. Maybe I'll move them somewhere else. But I gotta try something. So my next goal is to figure out what modifications I need to make to this. At least a door, and I think I'll probably end up drilling a bunch of like drainage holes or something. But yeah, I'm pretty confident. It's pretty well hidden from view behind this tree. Obviously in the winter time it'll be hard to see, but they will be painted a dark forest green, and I'm probably going to leave the frame as is. If I need to paint it green, I will. But I think it'll blend in. But yeah, there's plenty of room here on the side to pull a wheelbarrow up next to it, dump the contents into it, and to fill, really, to be able to access it. You know, maybe over time I'll figure out something to put in between. But for now, that's all I've got. I might be done for this. Oh, let's go look at the garden. That corn is tall. It's gotta be almost 8 foot tall. What do you think, dear? That corn is pretty tall. Wow. That's hilarious how they kind of go down that way. Look at these sunflowers. Wow. These turned out really good. There's a horsefly harassing me. Marigolds are coming in. What do you think, dear?
A lot of stuff.
Everything looking good?
Yeah, look at the size of this delicata squash. Wow. It's just so big.
Wow.
In comparison to my hand, I mean...
Like stuck in there.
Yeah.
Man.
The one, I mean, they're just gigantic.
Yeah.
The ones we had last year were not this big.
It's all about that soil life. Cool. Alright, well, I'm going back to the garage to get things cleaned up. Do you need any help out here?
No, almost done. There's one strawberry in the container by the strawberries if you want it.
Oh, okay. Let's go see what it looks like. Thanks. Might be dessert later.
Yeah.
Man, these pepper plants look awesome.
I know, I picked a pepper just to see what it tastes like.
Did you pick a pepper to pick? There's a saying there. Wow. So these are the mini ones.
Yeah.
And then...
Most of them are mini, I think.
Okay, yeah, those big ones never seem to do well here. I saw one the other day.
I picked the big one.
Okay.
I figured if I waited too long.
Something else will get it.
A lot of tomatoes.
Alright, back to the garage. Okay, I'm done for the evening. Here it is. Got plenty of wood stacked up there. That bird's still in here. He's still hanging out. Don't know what's in store for him, but look at this. Oh man, did you know there was another car stall there? I didn't know either. This was too heavy for me to move by myself, obviously, so I just need to get the tractor and put it back right under there. This is it. This is what I've been waiting for and working for. I know where things are. I'm like so close. With some shelving here and a little bit of creative storage, I can start to chip away at all of this, get it in there. We'll have a huge space in here for activities, and then we can do more stuff. There's gonna be go-karts in the future. There has to be. I refuse to have this much land and this much shop space and not rip around on a go-kart or a dirt bike or a quad or something. Okay, so that's where we're at for the night. Everything's cleaned up. I'm calling it quits. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you on the next one. So you like pooping on my porch, do ya? Well, there's the barrels. It is pouring rain. And the bat's here.